Just one point on the talent front, and this goes to our I think we have a DNA problem in India. We're a land of culture, tradition, music, art. We're like 7,000 years old country. We have huge roots, but there is lack of self-belief, in all honesty. So what am I coming to? The point that I'm trying to make is that in 1990s we all believed content was king, but in 2000s packaging has been God. So we may have talent in India, we do have talent, like Nikhil said appropriately, but I think now is the time to go there and package it. So the surprising aspect is that if you go to a mall in India, typical Selfridges mall, so out of the 140 shops, 139 are international brands. Our chicken tikka masala is the national cuisine of United Kingdom. Fuck, man. Yoga is registered in the US. We don't own yoga, the word, anymore. I went out to register Bollywood because we have a company, called Bollywood Corporation, and I thought we should just register now. Because things like copyright and trademark are alien in India yet. So anybody listening, come. You can make some money. So I went to register, and this is 6 years ago. And there were 170 categories available in Bollywood, like Bollywood Cafe, Bollywood Retail, Bollywood Kingdom, all that jazz. So I said, I want to take all of it. Because Bollywood is quite cool, it's growing, And surprise, I got 110, but the balance 60, 70 were taken by somebody. So I said, listen, and India, a little bit of money and everything works. It's quite sweet. I like it, actually. So we just said, hey, who's the guy, He says, no, I can't tell you. I said, oh, yeah, come on. I see, quickly he changed his mind and told me. It was Disney. Disney, 12 years ago, has registered Bollywood in 60-odd categories. So we, as a country, so I agree with Nikhil, we've got immense talent, but we need platforms, and therefore in Sunburn, being market leaders, with the help of Nikhil, his team, Submerge, he's been there from day one, part of the whole journey. I feel that we need to intellectualize a process. We need to create platforms, and that's why we went and tied up a DJ Mag for the next 5 years. We're launching DJ Mag in the next 3 weeks, because if the Indian DJs don't get a platform to be written about, to be known by you guys, it's never going to happen. They don't even have the confidence. They're happy just playing for $100 in any club. They don't care. So I think, going forward, and secondly, just another small point I'm just making. Second point is that, so the belief has to transform, but then you have to create the opportunities and platforms. So you won't believe it, what happened this Sunburn. Viacom has invested $4 million to make a full-length feature film, releasing on December 22nd. I'll try and show you the poster before we leave. This is a full-length feature film. This is not a festival flick, which is the rushes, and obviously, and I played a little title in the beginning of this AV. All the footage that you saw is in-house shot. There's no stock footage from any other festival in the world. So the feature film that we're releasing on 22nd is a movie. And it's about the lives of people who come to festivals. It's not just Sunburn who's going to benefit, but globally. DJs will get more respect. Fans will not be known as drug addicts just losing it. No, it's an experience of energy, happiness, entertainment. So this feature film is going to be released in 80 countries. So the premiere is a global premiere on December 22nd. So these are all steps to give respectability, bring in DJ Mag, do the rankings. We're doing a whole ranking festival. It's a process. But being market leaders, I feel the onus is upon me, Nikhil, all of us to make the difference. As they say, if you want to change, be the change. So there's a lot of shit. Sorry, bro.
The basic question is, what does this mean for all of you who are sitting here listening to this panel? Promoters, DJ agencies, guys who own record labels. The bottom line is that there is opportunity in India, and there's a lot of it. Not just with one company or one person. There are a lot of people out there who are interested in creating scenes for themselves, events for themselves, and we need partnerships. So the license model, we had a conversation a couple of years ago in Amsterdam. The licensing model where you say, I own this big brand, this big festival brand, which is very popular in London and Amsterdam and Ibiza, and I want you to pay me so much money to license it in India. That's never going to work, because we can build our own, as we have with Sunburn. But there are people who are interested in investing in India, and it always pays back. Simon Dunmore, who's sitting back, who won the Lifetime Achievement Award. Simon's been a big fan of India and a friend as well. And
half of him is Indian.
Half of him is Indian as well. Yeah. They've been asking
Sing him an address.
John W. Fleming, Norman Doré, the guys from William Morris, David Levy, and I have been speaking for many years, and I've learned so much. There are people in India who are willing to learn, willing to talk, willing to listen, willing to partner, do business with you. You just need to do your research and your homework and come in with sincerity and enthusiasm, and it will pay back. That's the bottom line.
Somebody who's
relatively small on the scale of how big electronic artists get, and in terms of the scale of venues that I play, I was shocked at the turnout that in India rivaled a lot of the turnout at some of my European shows, and the European market is supposed to be so much bigger. The audience is there, they're ready, they're willing, and they'll spend money.
They're diverse, right? Because, you know, from above and beyond to ambivalent or minus.
Even, I mean, people like, I brought Dorian Concept down to India last year, brought DJ Marquee down, so that there is like drum and bass, dubstep, Nero is going to be coming down, Chase and Status are coming down in a couple of months. So, I mean, there is so much to do, but then there's space for everyone because there's just so many of us.
Okay, conscious of time and this little clock down here, I think we've got to get a few questions in from the floor.
Do you see the relationship with the government and the police evolving and getting better so clubs are not getting closed down?
We managed to pull off Sunburn in Goa, all 5 years, with no interruptions whatsoever, including the weekend of 26/11, when 300 people lost their lives in Mumbai in the terrorist attack. So it was just round the corner. And India united, the media, the officials, and they said the party must go on. Sorry, I lost my voice there. Okay. I mean, India united. That was the only gig that happened in the entire country. So having said that, I think you've got a valid question there. So first I'm going to clarify the laws. Okay, so generally the laws is that if you're doing an open air gig, you can do it till 10 p.m. Okay, so 9:59 Sunburn shuts if it's open air. All clubs have permissions till 1 o'clock. And if any club promises you beyond that, then he's pushing it. If you're in a 5-star hotel, then you have permission till 2 a.m. This is how it works, to be honest. And with the emergent support of people like, you know, Above and Beyond and big talent like Axwell, everybody coming in, now what we floated to the ministry, and we were discussing it with William Morris's team this morning, is that we're trying to explain to them what music tourism means. The tickets to Goa on 25th of December are for 3,000 rupees, which is, you know, what is that?
About $50.
$50, okay? On the 26th, it is $500, because 27th is Sunburn. So we produce a document on how music tourism actually uplifts an economy. I mean, sitting here in Ibiza, this is my second time, he bought me last time for 2 days for an induction. What is this place? This is music tourism. This is how you can actually build cities, you can build states. So it is a concept sell to the Indian democracy, but it's happening for sure. And I think the cops, I mean, you're spot on. I mean, we're a phenomenally corrupt country, and you know it works both ways. So it's quite nice, and we have these live debates. The corruption has to go, and we're working at it. But having said that, the media is very mature now. So you really can't, you know, sort of break the law and get away with it. So I think the media is really helping, and media has evolved, and it's the next generation that is running the media. So if the cops really mess around with you, you have the media as a platform to do it. And sooner than later, I think the Indian economy scene is ever growing. So it's only in the larger interest of India that all these little small things disappear gently.
Just to underline that fact, last week there was a party that got shut down in Mumbai, and the police went in. Every once in a while you'll have a police officer who feels that he can make a name for himself by getting the media to come along with him and bust a party. So it happened in Mumbai last week, and it was a pool party, so there were people in bikinis there, there were girls in bikinis. So the police made a statement that there was prostitution and there was drugs, and there was a massive backlash from the media saying, just because somebody's dancing in a swimming pool, how can the police just go and issue a blanket statement that there was prostitution and drugs being run at this place? And it's a very reputed kind of a place. So the media is also waking up, and they're asserting their rights, and you know the community is growing stronger. The younger generation now that is heavily into electronic music, and I saw this with the internet a few years ago with MTV as well. Every time I try and get them to do something digitally, MTV would say, yes, we must go digital, this is in India. But we never went digital till about now. And the reason for that, I believe, was kids who were into the internet in a big way when they were in their 20s are now 25 and in a position to be able to make some decisions and take some decisions that govern the direction that a company is going to go in. So as the younger generation that's into electronic music starts to move into positions and places of power and where they can influence things, the scene will slowly start to change. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it is going to happen, and we're definitely on the path to making it happen.
I just want to try and get Rishabh to speak. Just your take on the scene right now, from an artist's point of view in India, and how exciting it is.
Firstly, apologies for really coming late. Ibiza did that to me, and it wasn't my fault. Yeah, so I'm Rishabh Joshi. I'm a part of Lost Stories. We started 5 years ago, and we got signed to Black Hole Records, and it's been a journey since then. And we have seen India grow. I mean, of course, I've seen it a lot less than Nikhil has seen or Shailendra Singh has seen, but it has been a steep rise, and it's so good to be a part of the scene at this point of time, wherein there are people who are facilitating stuff, and it's not like before. Even before, we used to make tunes and give it out, but it never really took on from there. But since the last 5 years, especially when Sunburn came into the scene, and everything was in flow back then, So I'm really glad to be the part of the scene at this point of time.
Okay. Any more questions from the floor? There you go.
I'm here representing Bigfoot, and we're going over to India at the moment with quite considerable investment. We've been looking at spaces around Mumbai, and it's the lease. The owner of the main space that we've been looking at. He wants the people that lease the space to spend a fortune on decor. Now, I know there's a cultural divide between the Bollywood millionaires and then the huge amount of middle class that there are in India. And we want to know if you think that a super club would work, over kind of 700 people. Would the people of the middle class mix with the VIPs much in the same way that Pasha works here, or Amnesia, or Space?
It'll have a lot to do with programming, positioning, location. But in terms of whether people across different socioeconomic strata will mix, absolutely, it happens right across India.
I played minimal techno and had 900 people for each show that I was doing. So a 700-person capacity venue could certainly do it for all kinds of spectrums of music.
The middle class and the upper class all survive together. So the mall example I gave you, just across the street, you have 100,000 people staying on the street. They both get along. It's quite a crazy country, but it's great fun. And they actually have a better time than us. But on the club scene, just addressing that, come, we build the brand Sunburn, we'll open a club together. Yeah, why take a chance with a new brand and, work your way up? It'd be brilliant. Yeah, exactly. Pete, I have a small question for you. Can I?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I think it's all about intellectualizing and content. Ultimately, the journey is always about content. So I'm just in the open forum, actually requesting IMS to come to Goa in this December. Would you please come? We'll work the arrangements out. We'll make Ben happy. No issues. But we'd love you guys to come there because I think you can make a difference. Okay, so that's the official invitation. IMS Goa.
Thank you.
Coming soon, okay?
Another quick here over there.
We saw a big, huge event with Trance and Fatboy Slim and David Guetta. You think we have a more techno big event like in Europe? Like minimal techno, like Ambivalent, Sven and the other artists?
Well, Kevin's just been there.
Yeah, I mean, I had an amazing experience. I felt like the audiences that I saw were incredibly educated, and in fact, they were hungry to see festivals that were representing larger or broader swaths of the colors of dance music, and the audiences want that. They're hungry for it, and hopefully, it's not just the most famous commercial things that are taking place on the festival. I can't speak to this festival's content because I haven't been to them, but there definitely is a huge audience for that, and they're hungry for it, and they're coming to whatever it is that comes there to them. And I think a lot of DJs now, from the whole spectrum of music, are also anxious to go see India. So there's eagerness on both sides. It's just a matter of time before everybody starts to link it.
I mean, I played Sunburn, and certainly from a house perspective, I was playing during the day, but playing kind of English artists like Eats Everything, Julio Bashmore, there was so much love coming back from the dance floor, and people so happy to hear those tunes there. So I would say very open-minded.
Yeah.
I think it's just about environment, creating the right environment to enjoy the music,
Well, to put it in black and white, the scene still is largely commercial. But if you are doing what I would call an alternative sound, which is either techno or drum and bass or dubstep, it's a question of finding the right partners in India who also champion that sound and getting into the right venues. Because obviously if you put a techno artist in a venue that plays Bollywood music on a Saturday night, then it's not going to work out. So doing your research is very important, but like everybody's been saying, it's an open market, there's space in there for everyone. It's just about doing your homework and dotting your I's and crossing your T's.
Thank you, everybody.
Very much.